Good morning, everyone. As promised, I wanted to make a little video talking about the manipulation, where it began, and how it's ruining our country today in record and alarming numbers. So, back in the 1900s, Roosevelt, who always tried to hide his wheelchair-bound polio, he was pressed up upon by the powers that be and told that if he didn't follow their agenda, his power would be taken from him, his funding would be taken away, so on and so forth. So the powers that be came to him and said, "Look, we're gonna push this agenda, and you're gonna let it be." And that's what he did. He was scared to lose his power. He was scared that he would have nothing. So they took all the money out of the banks, drained the banks, and left the people broken and lost. It started to fold the economy. The jobs were collapsing in record numbers, and at this time, no one knew what to do. And they started to give out free money, unemployment, food stamps, welfare, these type of things. So all these men that were used to working all day long and afterwards going to the bar and having a quick drink and going home to their family, they did this over and over again. Now this is when the family structure was tight. So what had happened was slavery was abolished and everybody started making a fair wage. Everybody started becoming not exactly rich, but they were starting to move up in the classes, Equality was forming, and this scared the powers that be. They thought they wouldn't be able to hold on to their money. They wouldn't hold on to their power. Because that's what it typically is all about, really, is the power. The money is just a side product of that. So all these men now lost their jobs. They had this free money and nothing to do with their time. So they began being bored sitting in the household. They were so used to working all day, having purpose. So now I'm going to go check out the local watering hole. So they would go down to the bar, and that's where they would sit all day. All the guys they worked with were all down at the bar, and this became the new norm. So what began was actually alcoholism. So this went on for a while, and one day two guys decided they were going to wake up, and they sat in their basement, and they formed what was known as AA at the time, and they came up with a plan to break everyone free of the cycle of oppression. So it started working. Yeah, hell yeah, you know it. So everybody started to wake up, and once everybody was waking up, their stronghold wasn't so strong anymore. So now they said, how can we keep people in these bars? They're starting to break away from us. Well, hence came the dancing girls and the prostitution and alarming numbers and things like this. And this kept the American people trapped in the bar that much longer. So now they were wasting money that they didn't have. They would go home to their wives and they didn't have the money they were supposed to have. Hence, domestic violence was formed. The wife was yelling at them and being frustrated with them, and therefore was causing problems in the household. Now, the sad part is the children were seeing this happen. So as the children began seeing this happen, it led to generational curses, alcoholism, abuse of the women, family structure falling apart from the inside. People didn't have money, poverty began. It's a very scary time. So, of course, the government's always profited off of pain. And this is how they created their social classes, your upper class, your what they call middle class. But today, the middle class doesn't even stand. You're either rich or you're poor. There's really no in-between and no dividing lines. So after this became no longer a problem, then they introduced heroin, and it started in Harlem, of course, where the clubs were the most prevalent and the easiest place for it all to begin, with the mafia and things like this. So he introduced heroin. Now this decay started really tearing apart the family structure and the social structures of all types. This kept people stuck where they were. See, that's what the ultimate goal always is chaos and confusion to leave you stuck where you are, to leave you depressed, not searching for more, okay where you are. That way the rich can get richer, and so on and so forth, right? It's really tore apart the social structure. Even today, every time someone begins to wake up and bring something new to the table to help people and bring people out of it, and you got the government bringing more chaos and confusion, keep you looking at the shiny object when the real magic is happening right in front of your face, right? It's terrible what goes on here, you know. They act like we have the power of choice with democracy and politics just in general, right? And in all actuality, you're none of this matters. None of this matters. There's these families that control everything, and that's just what it is, you know. They tell the government what's going to go on. Why is it okay to profit off of war? Why is it okay to profit off of all these hardships, you know, COVID-19, and now you got this avian flu that's wiping out our food sources, so we need them more. Need them. It's disgusting is what it is. And, you know, it's starting to become a time when everything's separating. People are learning about the powers that we have, the natural powers, the God consciousness, where we're all connected. And we all have this vast array of knowledge inside of us. And people are starting to learn how to unlock this. And this right here is what's changing our world. Thank God, because our world needs this change. You know, it can't go on in these patterns. Thank y'all for letting me share it, man. Wake up. I love you all.